I'm still alive! So, hello people of the interwebs. I apologise, it's been so long since I've done a video, but moving house takes time. And lots of things have happened and things need fixing, things went wrong. I flooded the house several times, which is great. So it's just a random catch-up video. I'm just gonna talk some shit and then try and get on top of talking about stuff, because we've had E3, that's been and gone. There's been announcements from Sony with the PlayStation Now, lots of stuff to talk about really. So I do want to catch up and carry on saying my 2 cents of a lot of things, but I thought I'm just going to do a random catch up. This was going to be, I was going to start doing some more vlogs since we moved in, because I was like, brilliant, I can do some DIY like I did in the last house. People enjoyed that, but last time it was actually going into a room and ripping the walls down and doing something completely different. Whereas in here, most of the stuff is pretty okay, and when it comes down to a DIY job, it's like rendering an outside wall or putting door handles on or swapping doors around, and that's not very entertaining YouTube stuff really. So that's mainly why I've not been filming. If I do something pretty damn decent, I've got a big idea for what I'm going to do in the garden, but when I come to doing that, I'll film that because it should be a big, fun, enjoyable project. But anyway, I'm digressing. Where are we now? We're in Joe's game room. So Joe is finally set up with a games room, and this is how she looks. So what we got then? Joe has commandeered my bookcases. So as you remember, in the old room, I had these lovely bookcases, and Joe has stolen them. Well, she hasn't stolen them, I've given them her, mainly because I can't put them in my office/games room, and we shall go on to that in a moment. But anyway, there's some of her random stuff. She's starting to put it all out now, so she's getting there lots of Wii controllers, all the books and bits and bobs. Some random chaff down there, more figures and stuff. We nipped to IKEA. Luckily enough, IKEA is about 5 minutes in that direction from our house. So we quickly went to get that to jam in the middle. So lots of DS and different games are all on there. So a TV is now jammed in this little alcove such. And what we got down there, she's got some of the retro stuff, probably none of it's actually plugged in, but she has been playing lots of the Wii U and her Xbox One. So that's that stuff there. Again, that's what was in Joe's old room, that now sits there. And then to this side, nothing much, I've just put this shelf up really. So she's got her Bravely Default character up there, and then this random bit where she sits and does her work, and I did that thingamabob. Didn't paint it, I stuck it on with stickers. So yes, that's one room that's got done. Everything else is nothing major, right? The only thing we did is we've done our bedroom, which there's no point showing you, it's a bedroom, nice and basic and boring. But it's annoying things like doors, and we know from previous videos, I hate doors, and guess what? The rule still applies here. So yes, this door was a bastard. Mainly because down here, you can see there's a big old part of the door missing here. Previous tenant looks like he kicked the door off the hinges and knackered the door up before he left. So I was like, okay, all the doors around here seem to be proper wooden doors, so I must replace with a good expensive wooden door. So I spent 50 quid, got the new wooden door, measured it up. Okay, shall we say? Well, I think I measured it up right. I just think the house changed shape in between me and cutting it. So I went to stick it up there and it didn't fit. So that was a £50 door wasted, and then ended up putting the original door back on. But then Joe had this great idea, as you can see, look, white doors, white doors. Joe did a little bit of scraping, a tiny little bit of scraping, and then found this glorious nice wood underneath, which I do really like. This side's been stained, so this is what it should look like when it's done. So I quite like it. I think they're very, very nice. Put some new handles on here. But what does it mean if you strip back a door and stain it? It means all the doors need to have that done. So we haven't stained this, nor have I stripped it fully back yet, but it's getting there. So it means lots of doors, lots of shaving, lots of staining. So yeah. But anyway, that's why I've not been filming really, it's just boring crap like that. But now we're going upstairs to my office. Now this is the thing that sold us for this house, because I just wanted somewhere where I can sit and work and have the windows open. That's the main thing I wanted at the previous house, because the neighbours were just so noisy. I could never have the windows open, so it just felt like I was in a little tiny prison. Whereas in here, there's lots of light, lots of windows, and there's no noisy neighbours. So it means I can sit and work in peace with just a nice breeze, and that was a major selling point for us. So anyway, I don't know why I walked, oh, bloody hell, near dropped the camera. This is what she looks like from here. So, tiny little thing set up here. Also, one of the things that causes problems with the house, they've got some decent wooden floor and good thick floors, but the previous person in this house, I believe, was quite naughty, and he had a grow on in the garden. So I think the police had come through the house and all the floorboards was, well, not all the floorboards, but the corners of every floorboard appears to be lifted so they can get sniffer dogs in there. So yeah, it means that I've not got around to actually putting this floor back down, because I won't lie, this is a bastard. The downstairs one was absolutely fine, but the coppers have made a reek mess of this. So trying to get it back down again is a pain, because these are all glued in. If I could take them all apart and put them back in one by one, jobs are good one, but I can't, so I've got to manipulate this into place, but a piece of wood underneath it snapped and it's hitting it, and yeah, I'm not going to go into it, but it's a job and a half, so I'll do that later. So anyway, I've got my temporary office set up here, and what I want to do is I want to get my office at the back of here, but for some reason there is a bathroom here. So I don't know why the guy who originally had this house decided to put a bathroom in it. He never finished it, so plumbing's just sticking up, and there's my Bride Enjoys. All my good Witcher stuff, all the good gaming stuff is hidden away here for the day when I actually get some shelves to stick it up. So as I was saying, you got your roofs coming down, which means no bookcases for me up here, which is a shame. But I want to be on this back wall eventually. So I've got to rip off all this, which I don't know how much damage is going to be behind it, so that's going to be another job and a half. But yeah, I don't know why he put a bathroom in here. It's very, very odd, because there's already a bathroom and also like a random downstairs toilet / shower. So I think he was just doing it for, I don't know. I can't tell you. But that's the mind of a man that grows marijuana for a living, so oh well. So yes, this is all coming out. And guess what? See down there? See these little pipes? They have water in them. And they wasn't capped when I moved in. So as soon as I got in here, I was like, right, let's turn the water on and had a quick listen. Yes, we can hear water go into all the taps and various things throughout the house, and we turned them off one by one, and then I was like, I can still hear trickling. That's worrying. Come up here, there was a pool. So I managed to flood all of upstairs, which is awesome. Then downstairs in the bathroom, there's one of them stupid hand showers that connect into the bath. I've always found them pointless because you just make more of a mess than anything. But anyway, that's got one of them. And there's a hole in it, and I didn't know. So I tried the bath, filled it, yep, listening, nothing's leaking, that's great. And I caught the latch that turned it to the shower head. Left, come back, flooded again. So I managed to flood both bathrooms at the moment, which is awesome. But anyway, it is very, very nice. This is the view from up here at the moment. I'm not going to open the window because a lot of neighbours are out there and they'll think I'm weird. But we've got a few houses in front of us, and then we've got lovely fields over there, and a nice little pub right there, which can't be bad. So yes, that's what my view is as such, and it's just so quiet and very, very nice. Right, so the next thing I want to have a quick chinwag about is something, I'm here to educate you now. Dressy Junkie's going to sort you out, it's going to save you a couple of bills. It's something I wanted to do about 2 years ago, mainly because I wanted to catch the buggers at my door, and I was going to film them and just show how wrong there was for what they was doing, and then upload it, and hopefully it would have been a good video. Sadly, that never happened. So we're just going to result in what we've done so far, and it's this bugger. Now, anyone that's watching me from America, I don't know what you have or how it exists, but over in the UK, you need a TV license, and it's utter bullshit. So I've had plenty of these come through saying, oh, you need a TV license, and I've not paid a TV license now for 4 years, I think it is. So it's about £140 a year. So for 140 quid, that's your PlayStation Network and your Xbox Live, both paid for. You can buy them for free if you stop paying your TV license. But what I want to do is, some people are a bit confused what the rules are, and everyone goes, got a TV, need a TV license. And that's the way they try to do it, and also they try and scare you into doing it, and it's all bullshit. Now, I apologise if there's a bit of boring in the video, but I want people to understand, because it could save you money, and the fuckers anyway. TV license isn't for a TV. It's receiving live signal. More than anything, it's for the BBC. The BBC turn around and go, well, we don't have adverts, so you need to pay for a license, but they will advertise their own stuff. So either way, if you're watching BBC or you're watching Channel 4, either way, your programme gets broke up by adverts, but BBC claim it's not other people's adverts, so they get away with it. So anyway, fuck the BBC. But the point is, you can sit and watch BBC iPlayer, and even in the frequently asked questions it says, you do not need a TV license because it's not live. Well, me and Joe, we don't have Sky, we don't have Virgin, we don't have anything, but we watch TV shows, we watch Netflix, and we watch BBC iPlayer, and we do all that. So there is no need for us to have a TV license, hence why we cancelled it, and all is good. But what I want to say is, if you are one of those people, cancel it, get it done, get rid of it. But the main thing is, this is the grey area. I'm not saying if you do watch live television, you should do something illegal like cancel it. I'm not saying that at all. But what I'm doing is preparing you with what you can do. And what it is obviously they knock on the door and say, we've come to check if you've got a TV. And then if so, we're going to say, why haven't you got a TV license? Well, when they come to the door, they're not legally allowed in your house. They will say they've got a bit of paper saying they're allowed to search. That's absolute 100% bullshit. That is not the case. If you go on YouTube, have a look, loads of people have contested it and says, well, that paper doesn't say that. They've even ran off and got a policeman, come back to someone's house, and the policeman's gone, actually, you don't have the right to enter this house. So the point is, if somebody comes to your door asking, have you got a TV license or not, first thing you say is, I'm not speaking to you, because you don't legally have to. If a cop asks you a question, for instance, if he's going to arrest you, then yes, you've got to oblige, you've got to say yes, and this is the name and all these other things. A random man working for a company saying, what's your name? Don't need to give it him. Don't give him your name. Don't confirm if you do or don't have a TV license. Just tell him to leave because you haven't got a contract with him, and that's absolutely fine to do so. The only way they can enter your house is if the court sign a piece of paper that says, yes, we believe they have got a way to get live signals and we want to check their house. Well, one, that's never going to get that far because it's too much work for them. They'll just go to the next door neighbour because you know you're shit, they're scared, they'll leave you. But even so, for them to sign that piece of paper, they need to have a reason to believe that you've got it. Well, the only way for that to happen is if the white van existed, if they could actually receive the signals and check, and that doesn't exist. It doesn't at all. So in other words, the grey area is, they can only get you done if you haven't got a TV licence, if you let them in to confirm it. If you don't let them in, you don't legally have to let them in. Shops are good. And to further this more, even though it's a bit boring now, so I'm going to wrap it up, I phoned them up and told them to fuck off. I says, I don't need one, get stuffed. So the first thing they says to me was, okay, then we're going to put you down as not needing a TV licence. What's your name? I says, I'm not giving it you because, look, this proves to try and scare you. Everyone writes to me as the occupier when they don't know my name. TV licence writes it as the legal occupier to try and scare you a little bit. But anyway, I've told them I'm not giving them a name, keep me as occupier, you don't need to know my name, I ain't got a contract with you. But also, if you've got a house, there is a thing called the implied rights of access, which means people can come onto your land post mail, knock on the door, give you leaflets. You can revoke that at any time. So I've told the TV licence I've now revoked access to implied rights to my house. So therefore, if they enter my garden, I can get them done for trespassing. So here's another letter now I've had from the TV licence, apologising that we do not like their policies for how they enter the house, and they will no longer enter it unless they've got a court order. So now, even if I did have a big fat thing on the top of my roof receiving television signals, they can't do shit about it because they're not allowed on my land. And even if they shouted at the garden, what's that big thing on your roof? I'll go, don't know, and leave it at that. So yeah, I might have bored the shit out of you, but I might have just saved you 140 quid. So I apologise if I bored you. If I save you 140 quid, because up with some Microsoft points. No, I just want to make sure people stop paying the BBC because BBC's corrupt as shit. We know the IP files and the crap. The other day BBC told me it wasn't going to rain. I went outside, did some rendering, it pissed it down. I ain't trust the BBC again. So yeah, don't pay for TV licence. It's for mugs. Stop doing it. It's old fashioned. It's just absolutely ridiculous, and especially how they try to ask you questions and what's your name and address. If you haven't got a Virgin Media box or something like that, Virgin don't phone you up and say, what's your name? We just need it because you don't have Virgin. So same rules applies. Fuck TVC licensing. TVC made a new thing up. So anyway, I'm going to probably love you and leave you there. I apologise for that little rant, but I needed to get it off my chest. But the idea was, I wanted the man to come to my house at the previous house because they says, oh, we're going to come round and check, and I thought, brilliant, because when he does, I'm sticking his camera in his face and I'm going to have him because I know my rights better than he does, and it would have been a great YouTube video. but they never even came. So this time I thought, I know you're not coming, so I'm just going to revoke your rights anyway. So if he does come knocking and says, I think something illegal's happening here, I can say, yeah, there's one thing happening illegal, it's you being on my property, now fuck off. So yeah, you're tooled up now, you know about the TV licensing, cancel it. So I think I'm gonna love you and leave you there. I'm on top of my bits and bobs now. I've got more time to start filming again, and I want to crack on, start talking about this like PlayStation Now and stuff like that, because there's a few things I want to chat about. I'm gonna try and stop talking right now because I can't stop. It's the first time I've been chatting to the camera in months. It's great because I try and talk to Jo, but I know she don't listen, and I don't think you lot listen, but I think you do, so it's a great way for me to talk. So anyway, I'm going to talk about gaming stuff in a separate video, and it's not going to be Friday night rant for a fair bit, mainly because I don't know what I'm doing up here, plus it gets really hot. You might have seen me wipe my brow, and I don't want the windows open while I'm doing a video because the neighbours will think I'm a bit weird. So I've got to work out how I'm going to be doing the filming and stuff, but I do want to just do them random videos going, this news just broke and that's a load of bollocks, and talk about it. So fingers crossed, we're going to be back on filming. I might even do one today, but we'll see, because I'm sure Jo will give me some jobs. So that's your lot. First thing I want to say is complete Watch Dogs, absolutely great. Also, randomly, I played Second Sons, which is sat there for ages. Jo couldn't get fully on with it, and I was like, oh, it looks it's a nice game, but it probably gets boring, and I played it. Absolutely loved it, and I have to say, it's the first time I've really enjoyed the PlayStation controller, mainly because I think the touchpad, and especially the touch front, can be a bit gimmicky. I think some games are going to use it just to say it's here, just like the Kinect. Some people use the Kinect because it's there. You don't need to, but if you use something correctly, it's brilliant. And I have to say, Infamous really use that controller perfectly, especially when you turn it and use it as a spray can. Bit gimmicky, yes, I know, but it was awesome. It was very, very cool. And at the same time, the only time you had to use the touchpad was to click it or just swipe, and it felt like they did it right. They didn't make it too gimmicky, they didn't force it on you too much, and it was the perfect level. So it's the first time I actually sat back and went, I like the controller when it's done correctly, but that same applies. I like the Kinect when it's done correctly. But to be fair, I think the Kinect is just best for voice controls. I'm not that bothered about the gesturing. I like it when it sits down and says morning dress it junkie when I sit down with a cup of tea, so I ain't got to sign in. That's awesome. But aside from that, I'm not fussed about the games. And the other thing is, I've got now Valiant Hearts, absolutely awesome. I think the game's going to be a lot shorter than I think, so I'm worried I'm trying to drag that along, make sure I don't do too much of it, but that's awesome. Definitely go look at that. And also PVZ, I've been playing lots of that. It's great. I don't know when the day is for when you guys get it, so I don't know what you guys, I've meant PlayStation users, so I don't know why you were you. But anyway, for the people that own a PlayStation 4, when PVZ comes out, get that game. It is amazing, and I cannot say how good the game is. Lots of free DLC. They'll just give us some more maps, different modes, and it's ace. Buy it as soon as it comes out. Cannot tell you enough to don't pay your TV license and get PVZ instead. So that's me done. I know it's all over the place. I don't care. I'm really hot. I'm gonna go and have a drink now. See you later. Bye.